Wise men say only fools rush in, and I can't help falling in. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today. We have some updates from the developers. We have some updates from media. Everyone, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. And everyone say hello, Dashi. Hello, Dashi. And let's hop right into it. So the first thing I'm going to read is the New Zealand media. Okay, so I'm going to react to this. It seems like almost every other day we have stuff from the media, whether it's from the papers in Norway or it's actually a commercial in Italy or a magazine in Brazil. This one comes from RNZ from New Zealand's Earth 2, the online game that's got teens buying property. And it was on Sunday morning, so it's actually an old article on the February 21st. So a new augmented reality and virtual reality game is testing the boundaries of cryptocurrencies and property ownership. Earth 2 is a virtual version of planet Earth split into 5.1 trillion land tiles, each measuring 10 meters squared. Tiles can be bought and sold for profit in the next phase. Developers claim those who buy the virtual land will be able to mine resources, rent properties, earn income taxes, or even cash from advertisements on their land. Jim talks to Sunday Morning's tech correspondent Helen Baxter from Mohawk Media, and that was the article. So basically, it's a very, very basic idea of what the game was in phase one. Honestly, most of this we can do now. Like, the only thing that we can't do is just rent the land. Because right now, we obviously buy it, you can sell it, you'd be able to... Yeah, and renting is the only thing that you can't do right now. Everything else you can do. So that's something that I thought was really cool. It's making the papers around the world, which I'm very, very excited for. So another thing that I'm going to go over real quick before we get into questions, before we get into other things. Shane did tweet an update. It's more of hopes. I'm going to break it down. Shane goes, quote, "Imagine if we could instantly pay out directly to use a credit card, ... Well, ... hashtag fingers crossed. Essence is working well, but needs to roll out with the EPL updates. Possible news on tile system coming. Randomly assigned attributes on properties will be a thing. Hashtag Earth2." End quote. So all of this sounds very exciting. I'm going to break down a little bit of what it says here. What I think the possibility is connected to an NFT. When he says it's possible news on a tile system, that's what I'm almost 100% sure it will be. You could make the argument, yeah, it could be connected. It'll obviously be connected to crypto because that's going to be one of the ways we're going to be able to pay outside of putting in actual dollars and whatever. That is something that they should be able to do. And I'm going to go out on a limb saying that is, yeah, a little speculative, but most likely crypto because it will be one of the main ways to pay. And it can be being pushed towards an NFT. Again, these guys are, I want to say they're old. They're not old, but they are like Gen X era, like young enough to be able to remember what it was like before the internet, but new enough, and again, we're all nerds here, being able to say like, oh, read the writing on the wall. This is the next stuff. I've heard so many things about NFTs. I think it's going to be one of the next big platforms. I saw my finance video about it the other day. Yeah, that's one of the main things that it'd be stupid not to connect it to it. And when he says attributes on properties, I think that's referencing just the warring world, where if this property, let's say it gets, plus 30 defense, and this property gets, plus 10 attack, and it might depend because the developers have said in the past that you will have benefits for larger untouched properties. So stuff that's like 750 tiles and around 750 tiles. If you don't terraform the tiles, if you don't do anything to it, then most likely those are going to be the ones that are going to get big benefits. I think in the warring world, because the benefits for the peaceful world might be like, okay, the larger the property, you might get instead of one resource every hour, you get 2 resources now, or something like that, along those lines. That's what I think, the reference to the warring world. Or it could also be a reference to just resources as well, saying like the larger the property, the better resource you get. Let's say if, wood is something that, you can get from 1 to 10 tiles, and then fire you can get from 10 to 20 or something like that. If you have 750 tiles, maybe it's a rarer item that you can get. So moving on. For guilds, on to questions. For guilds, will there be experience share And how will funds loot work? So most likely, what I'm thinking the way it'll happen is just that if you have, let's say a guild, and you're trying to fight this boss over here, and this boss is like too strong for this one guy that's level 2, but level 2 joins the raid and hides behind someone who's got like a protective charm on them, or it's got just a magic spell, and they take out the boss. That's a good way, if you have someone new come into your guild, just to level them up really quickly, to take on those bosses and kind of have 2 hang in the background. So most likely that'll be it. There'll probably be other types of bonuses for the one that deals a killing blow, for how many attacks you get in and all that. How will the funds and loot work? Again, they might be evenly split if they agree to it. It also might be contingent on the guild, where you agree to it beforehand. We're going to all get it equally, or say like, hey, whoever gets the most hits, whoever does the most damage, gets the most amount of prizes. And then there might be something that you'll all get regardless of what you do. They did that in Wingspan. Everyone remembers that game. That was so cool. I heckin' love that game. Oh, so the winners of the last video, the last couple of videos, were Kia Morshed FA, Mr. J1S, what's up, Jones, message me, Graham Stevens, and Keely Bilo. Those are the last 4 winners of the last video. So message me to how to get your free tile in my Megacity. Do you think this will be more Sword Art Online or Ready Player One? So I think it could be a combination of both. Sword Art Online, especially if you have protective charms or any battle items that makes you recover really quickly. If their attacks only do 70 damage per second and you're recovering 100 damage per second, they can't do anything. That's just something that shows in like one of the first episodes of Sword Art Online. It's a really good show. And Ready Player One, yeah, you're just going to have, Riptar over here. You're going to have Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo over there. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. So I think it's going to be a combination of both. You said you don't speak Spanish. Why not? And will you learn the languages of the game? So yeah, I mentioned yesterday that the translation of that magazine article, it was in Portuguese, which I really don't speak, but Spanish I speak it's very, very weak. It's very, very not good. It's better than my Russian, which is also not good. But I was adopted by white people, and they just didn't teach me. So I learned a little bit in school and from friends. Will I learn languages of the game? If I have some time next year, yeah. When I'm not working 80-ish, 100 hours a week, yeah, absolutely. If you had a choice of how to advertise this game, how would you do it? Okay, so actually, in my day job, where I am a financial advisor, but right here in this video, not a financial advisor, is not financial advice. I actually tell them, like, oh, if you're advertising, all right, so Facebook Marketplace, Instagram ads, those are probably your best bet. I have so many old people that are just like, oh, I'm going to put it on the radio. But, it's like, oh my God, no, that is not how you advertise. Even Google AdWords, I don't want to say is overvalued, but it's just, are the only people that are going to listen to like the Google AdWords really just the old people. And if that's their, that's their demographic, but I would totally say like, okay, Facebook and Instagram ads, and that's it. Reddit ads, nobody pays attention to. But Snapchat, one of those stories, yeah, probably those as well. Would you do it? Okay, so moving on from that, will you have jobs in your megacity? There's a couple of things that I'm going to try to do. As far as decorations, yeah, absolutely. As far as people painting murals on the side of my buildings, yeah, of course, absolutely. Now, a lot of those are going to be one-off jobs, but if it goes by recommendations and other people are like, hey, who'd you get to do your work? I'll refer you if you're really good. Will there ever be brick and mortar stores in E2, like buy stuff and then ship it to your house? Yeah, absolutely. I plan to do this myself. Like I plan to do this with Pokemon cards. I plan to do this with mostly just Pokemon cards, but other people as well. I've mentioned that if you're making things on Etsy or if you're making things on whatever and you like the look of it, then yeah, absolutely. And it's not even through the game. It's just through, person to person. Like there'll probably be Earth 2 might have a merch store, Earth 2 might have whatever, and you can go and shop there. But yeah, this is how a lot of people will make money. If you have stuff to dress your avatar with and you like that look, say like, hey, can you make this for me in person? Here are my measurements, and just go, here's my bust, here's my waist, here's my hips, and just make me a dress. I want to wear a dress. As long as it's got like a battle skirt and I can, move in it. So yeah, that's going to be a way people make money. Will you make Wolverine merch? I don't think I can. Licensing, probably not. Where can we get spreadsheets? That was in Dorkslayer's last vid. He says that if you have if he gets 1,066 followers on his Facebook page, he'll release it. I guess do that. Try to do that. I don't know. I don't know what he has on his Facebook page, whether it's good quality stuff or not. But if you want that spreadsheet, if that's then yeah, go for it. Is it worth it to put $100 in E2? So this is something where, again, not financial advice, not financial advisor, but if it were me that maybe didn't have a lot of money, and let's say all my bills were paid, I had a little bit of an emergency fund, in case of something happens, like an oh shoot moment, I'd be like, okay, yes, I can put $100 in here. Where would I put it? I would buy as many tiles as I could. Well, I would buy a couple tiles in Chavez, and then I would buy tiles wherever I could that's cheap, just so I can mine resources. So yeah, probably a good amount in Chavez, and then maybe I would keep $10 or $20 either for Dubai or in case you need to do something really quickly. Let's say you need to actually buy mining equipment. That's something that I would definitely keep some money for. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth it, especially long term. Long term, I'm a long term person. If it's like, hey, should I buy this before? Like, if you want to do something for a quick flip, I am not the guy to go to because I don't do that. I just don't. Like sometimes, like my trophy Kangaskhan, yeah, I'll do that for a quick flip just because it like tripled in since the time I got it. But now, no, most times I won't do quick flips. Will you ever go on Twitch? So me and Nameless, from Guidebook Gaming, actually talked about this. And if you are not on Twitch, you are missing out. Go and follow Guidebook Gaming because they give away multiple tiles, Class 1 tiles. And Chavez I can only give Class 2. But they're giving away Class 1 tiles every single stream, multiple times every stream. So that is just something that is absolutely phenomenal. If you want more free tiles, like again, I do my giveaways every video, and sometimes I wait a couple videos before I unleash them all at once. He does it every single stream. He's doing it for a year. I'll do it for as long as I can, and we'll ever go on Twitch. Maybe at some point when I have more time, and then I'll break up the Twitch stream and then put it on YouTube in parts. So that's what I'll probably do as well. But right now, Nameless is kind of staying off YouTube. I'm staying off Twitch. We're kind of not taking from each other's audiences. But in the future, I probably will. Will celebrity boxing match that you talked about be like Wii Boxing or Real Steel? No, when I talked about fighting Logan Paul, or the other members of E2, no, I want to like actually box them. I want to actually fight. Like I want to skills. Logan Paul's a really good athlete, and I think I've been doing it longer than him. But yeah, he's just younger, he's stronger, and he's had a lot more. He's got a lot more time to practice, whereas I just don't. So he'll probably win, but I still want to do it anyway, just to see. Also, so guys, next week I am not going to be here for like 3 days. It's my girlfriend's birthday, so I'm sorry. Yeah, for like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week, I will be MIA. I'll try to make something, and maybe I'll try to upload it in like a grocery store, but yeah, so apologies about that. I love you guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I love you guys. Goodbye. Say bye-bye, Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Goodbye.